Hey Jovi, Autumn, and Zoe. Today's video is an introductory video for anyone who is starting their crochet journey and anyone who's having trouble with their crochet journey. This video is for you. To get things started, all you need is a hook, one that feels comfortable in your hand. You can do a pencil hold like this. Some people prefer a knife hold like this. Practice to see which one you like best. You need to be able to maneuver the hook easily with whichever one you choose. All right, get some inexpensive yarn. You can get a ball of somebody else's yarn. Just take a little snippet because you're gonna have to do a lot of practicing, so you don't need much in the beginning. And I say inexpensive because, again, you're just gonna be practicing. You're not doing a project right now. You are just practicing. Just like you want to use a hook size that fits really well in your size hands, there's different size hooks. So pick one that fits very well and is comfortable in your hand. Just like kindergartners have to use jumbo size pencils to be comfortable in their hand and get used to writing, same thing with a crochet hook. If you have smaller baby hands, then you want to use a bigger hook just to get used to the feel. And then as you grow older, you can whittle down and get a smaller sized hook. Same thing with your yarn. There are different sized yarns that you can use. There's some that are thicker, and then there's some that are thinner. You do not want to start off with something that is too thin because that's just going to make it more difficult for yourself. Bring! The magic of TV. Okay, so here, as you can see, that's very thin. And as you can see, these are very thick. So be careful what you're choosing in the beginning. As long as it's comfortable for you though, hey, to each his own. Before we go any further, I'm already giving you some homework to go practice right now. Practice maneuvering your hook. Practice with different sized hooks. You can go to the store and kind of play with them to choose which one is best for you. Zoe, Autumn, Jovi, y'all should have y'all hooks already that I gave y'all that y'all can start practicing with. Again, practice maneuvering with the pencil hold. You're gonna have to twist and turn your hook at times, so practice doing that. Start up and twist down, kind of like you're scooping something up or shoveling something. Then you can try your knife hold and same thing. Start up, scoop down, scoop down, scoop down. Homework, homework, homework. I know y'all love it. To get things started, let me let you know that right here, this end is your yarn end or your tail. I just call it a tail. This part going to your yarn ball or your skein is going to be your working yarn. So tail, working yarn. The first thing you're going to do after you practiced holding your hook, you're going to practice wrapping your working end over your fingers, crossing the railroad tracks. You're going to put your hook under the first track right here and then over the second trap. I said trap. Second track. You're going to use the hook part of your hook to grab that yarn and pull it underneath the first one. Keep it on your hook, keep it on your hook. Keep pulling, pull, pull, pull. Pull both the working yarn and the yarn end to make your knot tight. Then, whoop, then you're going to pull the working yarn and that knot is going to get closer and closer to your hook. Boom, bing, bang, boom, baby. You have just created what is called a slip knot. Let's go ahead and try that again. Lay your tail or your yarn end over your fingers. Put 2 fingers like this. Put your yarn end over your 2 fingers and pinch with your thumb. Then you're going to wrap your working yarn back around the back of your fingers and loop them up to the front again, and this time you're going to create an X. When you create that X, when you cross those railroad tracks, you're going to pinch at the X, flip your fingers, and now you have your railroad tracks. Hold with your ring finger, hold the yarn with your ring finger so it stays in place. Grab your hook, go under the first track, over the second track, and pull the second track under the first one. Keep pulling, create this right here, hold your working yarn and your tail, pull them both together at the same time, and now you have a big loop on your hook. Look for just your working yarn, grab that working yarn and pull, 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 and look how it creates your loop over your hook. Your loop is now hugging your hook. This area right here, from here to here, is something that is called a working area. When your yarn hugs this part of your hook, this is what creates the size. See how it says 6.5 millimeters? This is the 6.5 millimeter area. If you let the yarn go down here and let it hug here, it is no longer 6.5. It's smaller. So in order to do your work, in order to get the size that you want, you have to keep it in this working area at all times. Well, correction, not all times, because there's times when you're going zzz, so obviously you're going to be moving it. But anytime you do your work, you want to come right back to this area. Hook, pull, back to the working area. Hook, pull, back to the working area. And now I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me review this with you. Tail end over your 2 fingers, go back behind, cross, turn, pinch, hook goes under and over and through. Pull both pieces of yarn, your working yarn and your tail end. Now just grab your working yarn and pull. I want you to go ahead and pause this video and practice creating your slip stitch. Then come back when you feel like you have mastered that. Welcome back. So you've mastered the slip knot. Now we're going to move on to what's called a chain. Whoop, looky here, look what I have. I have the tail end as my working yarn. I do not want that. I want to make sure that my tail end is down and my working yarn is up. Pinch right here. You're going to use your ring finger and your thumb to pinch your tail. Pinch with your middle finger and your index finger to pinch your working yarn. Keep your hook in your loop, and then you're going to do something called a yarn over. I tend to pretty much leave my working yarn steady and I let the hook do all the work. So I'm going to wrap my hook around to where it looks like my yarn went over my hook. Yarn over. I want my yarn to go over my hook in this motion, but I'm going to use my hook to do it. Working yarn this way, tail end this way, pinch with my ring finger and my thumb down here, pinch with your index finger and your middle finger up here. I'm going to use my hook. Remember we said we were going to practice that scooping motion and up and down and all around. We were practicing maneuvering our hook. Now we're going to use what we practiced. We're going to scoop up. And when I did this, my hook was up. It was pointing up. Now, as I scoop, I'm going to end up with my hook pointing down so that it can grab the yarn I need it to grab and pull it through the loop. Do you see how that happened? You're going to use your hook. It's going to start upward, and then you're going to maneuver your hook so that the hook is pointing down. Grab the yarn and pull it through the loop. Up, twist around, down, grab, pull. Up, twist around, down, grab, pull. Don't hold this part too tight, because what's going to happen is it's going to create what's called tension. You're going to have too much tension, and it's going to make everything too tight, and it's going to make it hard for you to try and pull through your little circle, your little loop. So just remember, you're just grabbing and placing the yarn where it should be, where it wants to be. Grab, pull. Grab, pull. Again, grab, pull. And I should mention that as my chains get taller, I am going to be moving my ring finger and thumb higher as well. I want it not too far from the hook where I pinch my yarn. So pinch. I'm going to grab that yarn and pull it through. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Now go ahead and stop what you're doing. Unravel your yarn and practice. Now's the time to practice, practice, practice again. Homework number 2. You're going to get your 2 fingers, wrap your finger, get your 2 fingers, wrap the yarn to the back, through the front, cross the railroad tracks. Railroad tracks are over here. Get your hook, go under, over, pull through. You have your loop on the hook, you have your big circle right here, and you have your yarn end and your working yarn. Pull your working yarn and your tail at the same time. Then just pull your working yarn. You have your slip knot. Now you're going to pinch your tail. You're going to yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Just practice that. Just keep practicing, do your chains. You can set a goal of 20 chains. When you are done with those 20 chains, then unravel your work and start all over again. Not only will you be practicing your steps and conditioning yourself to remember these steps, but you're also practicing and getting better at those steps. Once you have mastered these steps, then I want you to master and challenge yourself to make each one of these chains as uniform as possible. You want them to be the same size, the same length, the same width, and you also want to use the same tension, the same amount of tension in each one. All right? So practice, practice, practice. Practice makes progress, and then come back when you're done practicing that, and then we can move on. Let me show you real quick how to count your chains. See these little V's that are being created at the top of each chain? That is how you count your chain. Look for the letter V. Here I have chain 1, chain 2, chain 3, chain 4, chain 5, chain 6, chain 7. This loop right here on the hook does not count as a chain. So if I'm at 7 chains, I want to do chain 8, see my little V? Chain 9, chain 10. Like I said, you have a goal of 20, so then we'll do 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Then you could start all over again. Again, the loop on the hook does not count as a chain. And look for the letter V for those chains. After you feel that you've mastered the chain, then you can come back here and I will show you how to work into the chain. So go practice, practice, practice. Practice, practice, practice. And don't stress yourself out. If you start getting frustrated or too worked up and stressed out about it, then just step away from the work and then come back and then practice some more, because you're supposed to enjoy yourself while you do this. Alrighty? But it can get a little stressful at times when you really want to be able to do it and do it right, but you can't figure it out. Just come back to the video, go back to basics, you'll be all right. Okay? So I'll see y'all next time. Toodaloo.